right, Ken, thank you for coming on the show. What did we discuss today? Let's give a quick rundown.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about like entrepreneurship, work, burnout, how you handling burnout, especially like busy immigrants, if you're like,
abroad.
That's what we talked about today. Like
trying to figure out your life.
Yeah, how you guys doing it?
Should
like,
you?
We really want to know. We shared like how we're doing ours, and
but we also want to know from you
guys are also doing
as well. Managing your stress level, building systems, even your business as well.
Yes.
At what point do you decide it's enough? What is enough for you? Should your situations define it? That's pretty much what we covered in this episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoy watching. Hey there, welcome to Sabi Cruise, the podcast where real talk meets real life. I'm Bisola, your host and soft life correspondent. Every other week, we get into honest, unfiltered conversations about life, money matters, adulthood, and all things in between. If you're all about that soft life with sense, you're in the right place. So hit that subscribe or follow button and let's cruise into today's episode. Hey everyone, I'm so excited for today's conversation because I'm here with an amazing guest, a longtime friend of mine. Ken Ndubisi is a digital entrepreneur and a marketer. And I remain your humble host, as always, Bisola Queen. Ken, please tell us about you. Introduce yourself the proper way.
Thank you for having me. I feel like it's been almost 2 years since we sat down like this to have a conversation.
Yes. It's actually, wow, it's been that long. Ken and I usually make videos every now and then, but it's been a long time since we had a chat.
But we're always like talking like in between. Like,
and you make it sound like we don't see. We still see, we still hang out. It's just we haven't actually made content.
But yeah, I feel like a bunch of things have changed since the last time that we spoke.
Let's get into it. I'm so excited for all the things that have changed. I want you to unpack, share with us.
Yeah, so now like I'm a permanent resident. I'm here like in Canada fully. I'm like fully building up my business. So business is good.
Ciao.
Business is good. Like we're fully incorporated now. We're working with clients. We're figuring out, just more revenue streams, and also like
love that.
It's really busy right now. Like I'm now getting into like hiring, operations, stuff like that. So it's really amazing now. So yeah,
that's beautiful, and I love that you say it's busy because that's also something that I actually want us to discuss today. The place for balance between being busy and burnout.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like I always feel like busy is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good when you're busy because it's like maybe from being busy you can make money and you have fun.
Yeah.
For me personally, I like being busy. I don't like being idle. But then like how do you find the balance between being busy and being burnt out? So that's like something I want us to really discuss today because I know you do a lot of things. You work with different clients, managing all of these situations, and now that you have a business and all. Mm-hmm. So I'd like for us to actually get into it.
Sure, let's talk.
Okay, since we're talking about burnout, was there ever a time that you felt like you were burnout, and what changed for you after that?
I feel like in my professional life, I feel like I've experienced what some people might refer to as burnout. And this was like even way before I moved to Canada. I feel like there were some points in my life in Nigeria when I experienced what I would think or what I would call burnout. But I want to also say that in those situations, I feel like looking back now, it's easy to look back and say, okay, then I was burnt out. But honestly, for me, and this is like for me personally, I don't really recall much of those memories. Like the only thing I can remember is that in that moment, it felt like that was like my neck, like I was up to my neck in like work and everything and stress and all.
Do you feel like you were actually burned out, or were you just broke? Because that's actually another thing. I feel like the definition of burnout can vary from person to person.
Yeah, no, so I felt like I was burnt out.
Okay, what did being burnt out mean?
I felt like I was burnt out because I feel like it was the first time in my life when I was actively juggling many things at the same time.
Okay.
Right? Like before then, the amount of work that I was used to, it felt like streamlined. Like if I was doing just this business, that was it. But it felt like I started handling several things at the same time. I was like, helping people. I was trying to build my personal brand. I was like trying to figure out what my next path in life was going to be. I was trying to figure out like coming to school in Canada. So
and relationship, like, you probably had a girlfriend as well.
Yeah, so like all those things all together is like everything everywhere happening all at once, and it just like culminated. I mean that's but what's actually interesting is like when it first started, I felt like I could handle it, right? And I feel like that's something that we might still touch on in terms of like when you take on a lot of work, it feels like you can handle everything, but then it gets to some points where it's like when you jump into water and you're swimming, and at the start it's shallow, right? But as you keep on swimming, it starts to get deep,
deeper.
and then you're like, oh shit, like this is.
I didn't
like,
know
this
what I
is
got
really-
myself
Yeah,
into.
exactly. Like this is really scary. So I feel like that's what people struggle with the most, honestly. And I faced that in Nigeria, and I also faced it when I came here in Canada too.
Was it different for you when you were here in Canada or when you were back in Nigeria?
Oh, of course. No, like I mean, lifetimes different.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe at that time you were just broke.
Yeah, well, but I wouldn't.
Do you feel
even
like
call it broke.
money contributed to the pressure you had back then?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Money was never really like that much of a problem. I'm not saying like I was a billionaire son or anything, but I felt like, part of my entrepreneurship journey, right? I felt like I was one of those people
Ballers.
that I was one of those people that started seeing money early, like from internet marketing, selling digital products, working with customers, and just that whole online money space. I felt like I was one of those people that locked out and got like saw success really quickly. So money wasn't really the main issue. It was just like the logistics behind like handling a lot of things that the money brings.
I feel like I'm also in that situation right now. I wouldn't necessarily say like I'm juggling a lot of things because of the money.
Yeah.
It's just mostly the personal fulfillment that I'm getting from, working on all these multiple projects and also building my own life as well. It's not necessarily, I mean, the money is good. Money is nice to have. It's not like I'm chasing because of the money. But then that brings me to like this point of where, but we always have this societal pressure of constantly chasing.
Yeah.
Like at what point do we all feel like we've gotten enough? At what point, when is enough? When is it enough? We'll feel like, oh yeah, you but there's also like that song, Dangote still they find money. So
Yeah, exactly.
even the richest or the wealthiest of persons, they're still out there chasing and trying to make more money. But then, like I always wonder, like, is it really about the money though, or is there something else to it? And why do we always feel this pressure to constantly be working on a new thing, to work on new idea, to chase, to do this, to do that?
Yeah, I feel like that's very interesting. But I'm going to start off by saying that I feel people should have a number. Like me personally, I don't think I'm going to say my number here, but I feel like now.
But don't you feel like you keep shifting the goalpost?
No. Like I feel like before in my life, I didn't have a goalpost. Like
Oh, you never had
Yeah,
one?
I was. If I'm being honest with myself, there was a time in my life when I was just like, I just want to make more money, right? But as I get older now, I can't be that vague anymore.
You have to be
Like,
more
Yeah, I'm
specific.
quite specific. Like as for me right now, I'm specific in the sense of, if I get to this amount,
You'll be okay.
it's not like I'm gonna stop working.
But you
right?
know that you're happy.
Yeah, but I know that this is if I have this amount of money and like I mean like liquid cash, like if I have this amount of money, then I'm gonna take it very chill, right? And I keep on telling myself that every single day now, just to kind of enforce stability, because that's another thing. If you don't enforce it, you're always going to feel like you want more, you want more. But if you keep on telling yourself that, look, this is where you want to get like as your base, and then when you reach that base, then you can now start building from that base.
I agree with you. For me, I don't know if I had I don't think I had a specific number in the beginning,
Yeah, I
but
never
now
did.
I do have I can say my own number. My own number is $1 million. If
Okay.
I get to $1 million with kids, I think without kids right now, where I am at, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I think because I do have plans to have kids, so that number is at $1 million. But without kids right now, I'm fine where I am.
Yeah.
So anything I'm working on right now, all the projects, even my job, even everything else, it's just mostly to be able to reach that goal, to be able to have kids.
Yeah.
Personally, that's
Honestly,
just where I am.
okay, I can even share mine now. So
Yeah,
like,
hey, $2 million.
Yeah,
Tell me.
so like mine base is between like 2 to 3. Like I feel like with 2 to 3, and again, that's why I said like with knowledge now, like comes the ability to make such decisions. Like I know that if I have that amount of money liquid, there are some certain investments that I'll put that money to that I know is going to yield return that will allow me
To take a break.
to live life comfortably, and then I can be very risk. I can do other things that I want to do. But if I have that base, I know that okay, my living expenses is taken care of, my family is taken care of comfortably. I don't have to
To
stretch
stress
myself.
anymore.
Exactly.
So do you feel like our numbers are quite different, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have more pressure on you to be more successful because you're a man, or because you're a firstborn child? I know you're a firstborn child as well. Because for me, I'm a firstborn girl, and I know that it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not a man. I've not actually had a deep conversation with a man before that is a firstborn child. So maybe you'll be my first person to discuss this with. I'm curious, like, do you feel like you get more pressure because you're a firstborn male child
Igbo,
to
you have to add Igbo to it. Yes, so
to be
because-
more successful,
yeah.
or you just have that personal desire to be successful. For me, I would say the pressure is there as a firstborn child, for sure. I can't take that away. As a firstborn child from an African household, firstborn female child, I personally feel like the pressure is more on us to be hardworking, to be successful, to be respectful, to get a good husband, to take care of your siblings, to take care of your parents. Because the truth is, the boy child, they always end up abandoning their parents to an extent. So like, there's always all of these other things that as a female you have to step up and fill the role in. So I'm curious to know from your own perspective as a guy, firstborn child, like, do you feel like there's more pressure on you to be successful, and like you said, an Igbo boy as well? I'm curious.
Yeah, but I feel like one distinction I want to make, and to be very clear on, is that I feel like the pressure is never going to vanish. The only thing that we can control is how much the pressure gets to you. Right? Like, I can't honestly say that the pressure has vanished now, because yeah, sure, the pressure still exists. But with what I know now, I don't let the pressure get to me
And define you.
Yeah, I don't let it get to me as much as it used to. I'm like, sure, pressure, do your thing, exist, but I don't let it get to me, right? So I want to move at my own pace. I want to do my own thing, because like, there's no limit to it, right? I'm in circles where like I'm working with like super influential, successful people. So if there's anybody that's even going to like pressure me, like, I'm already in an environment where I'm going to be like super pressured,
motivated by yourself.
Yeah, so that pressure is all around me every single day. I just don't let it get to me. I'm like, I see what you're saying. I love it for you. This is good, but I'm going to still walk my path, right? Yeah, that's it.
I think for me as well, I've gotten to the point where both my siblings are doing okay, my family is doing well, and thankfully my parents don't have to rely on me for anything as much. They have their retirement plan, they are still working, and anything I do for them is just extra, which I'm very blessed to have that kind of situation in my family.
It's a very privileged
place, to be honest. I can't even dispute
we're not
it.
denying that
We're not disputing it. But also there's a part where I felt like, I wouldn't say I still feel that way. One of the reasons why I was able to push for my own siblings to come to Canada was because I just wanted them to get to a point where they are very stable and very comfortable for themselves, so that I can live my life. I don't want any brother or sister calling me 5 years from now when I'm doing my thing, then asking me, hey, can you help me with this, or can you help me with that? Because I didn't put them in a situation where they can live life for themselves. So that was why I had that pressure to be able to get them out and push them. But thankfully, God's so good, they're both doing very well now. So less pressure for me. Any pressure that I put upon myself now is just me putting it on myself.
Yeah, I feel like our own type of pressure, or like our own type of privilege is not, there's the type of privilege where like you're giving everything, but it's this kind of privilege where you don't have a lot of people expecting a lot from you.
It's not like there are not people expecting. You think all my extended families don't try to reach out to me?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I just set the boundaries. That's the thing.
Yeah, but like, you don't like. Do they like, how much do they really pressure you? Like, are they always like?
They try their best. It's just because there's always been that boundary. First of all, I'm not really close to those people per se.
Okay.
The ones that I'm close to, we occasionally talk, we chat occasionally. But then that relationship of you just calling me out of the blue to say, oh, can you help me pay my rent or something like that, is not really there for me. Okay. And if I do anything voluntarily, it's just out of the goodness of my own heart.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, I can tell you like I don't have. And I'm someone that I like to stick with like my budget or something. If you tell me that, oh, you need help with something, if I have it, I can give you. If I don't have it, I'll tell you I don't have it right now, and maybe in the next 2 months or something, check back later.
Okay.
That's my own system.
Well, I'm lucky in that sense. Like, most people don't call me to ask for money. Maybe
wow, they know that. I'll start calling you from now.
No, maybe they already know I'm going to say no, or I'm going to tell them something, so they don't even like bother. So yeah.
What's also one thing I'm curious to know from your own perspective, you didn't really specify about like being a male child, like being a guy or a man, I should say.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the pressure is more on you because you want to be a provider?
Of course, the pressure is more on me. You can never women should stop competing.
I'm not competing. It's not a competition. I'm not trying to compare. Is the pressure? I'm not trying to say is the pressure more on you.
Yours was more.
No, I didn't say my pressure is more than yours. I'm not comparing it with yours. Okay. I'm just saying I feel like the pressure is a lot on me as a firstborn child.
Okay.
But I'm not comparing it as a male versus a female. That's not the way I'm looking at it.
Okay, but if I had to ask you, if it was a male versus female, which one do you think is more?
That's a very interesting question because I have a different perspective. For me, and I don't know if I should be saying
it's a very straightforward thing.
No.
It's yes or no?
for me, like, it's very important. Financial stability is very important to me in a household, either coming from the husband or from the wife. However, even regardless of however wealthy my partner is, I do not want to depend on them for money. So because of that, I still have that pressure on my own self to have money.
But
so I will not say is it more? Is it more? Obviously, it's going to be more for men in this society, in today's society. The way this society is built up, it's definitely going to be more on men. But I'm not taking away the fact that I also, as a female, as for my own individual self, for myself, I still put myself under pressure to want more money, which leads to the hustle. But I'm also curious, like, at what point do we, I know we talked about like having a target number and everything, but like, how do we actually manage this stress? How do you manage stress that leads to burnout for you?
Well, I feel like for me personally, the way I manage stress is I do this thing where I reframe things in my head, right? So, like I said, stress, pressure, these things already exist, right? There's no way to like try and make it seem like they don't exist. And I feel like that's something that people do where they try to deny that they exist in the first place. Like, no, you have to accept it that this is what it is, but then you have to reframe it. So the way I see it in my head is like, oh, this thing is just happening for a moment. And for me, right, I give stress like time. You know, like I'm like.
But you feel like it's going to end at some point.
Yeah, it always has an ending date. That's the thing.
It depends, though. No, it depends on what you are doing.
I know.
There's some things you are doing that doesn't have direction.
No, but I've never seen stress that doesn't end. Like, that's why I said, like, when I think of the times that I've been stressed in the past, and then I remember how I am now, like, it doesn't feel as like I don't remember that in the moment back then it felt like this thing was never going to end, but now it has ended. So that's why I say, like, my first reframe is telling myself in my head,
like a reassurance to yourself.
I just let myself.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, like
I feel
and it always, like, there's always it's a tunnel, but that tunnel always has an ending.
True.
Yeah, that's how I frame it in my head, because it is actually the truth. It always ends, you know.
True.
So
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned that. Let's just shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
I know you mentioned that you are now a permanent resident of Canada. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
And you also mentioned that you have your business. What's your take on immigrants in Canada or abroad in general running businesses and combining it with a job? Should they even think about the idea of pursuing businesses in the first place, or should they just stick to like building their career path and growing from there? What's your take? Because I know you do both, and like you've had experiences on either side as well. So I'm just curious to know.
What is the definition of a career path anyway?
Career path, you have a 9 to 5. That's my own definition. What's your own definition of career path?
Yeah, career is just like, I feel like it's just something that you do, like people get to know you for, and you don't have to always do it in a 9 to 5 setting. So here's my problem, and again, people might challenge me on this, but
no, that makes sense. Continue.
It's just the truth, right? I feel like at some point we were just told, like the way that we were brought up, we're told like, oh, this is the path to go, this is the path to go. And many people, at least the vast majority of people, are just following what they've been told by society. So if at a stage in your life you're told, go to school, this is what you need to do this, you need to do this. At what point in life do you then decide that, oh, this is where I want to step away from what society is telling me to do? Right? And I feel like majority of people, now this is not to even encourage, like, one thing I'm going to say before I even go deep into this conversation is that I'm not one of, if you're watching this and you're hearing me talk about business, please understand that I'm not one of those people that's like, everybody should start a business. I don't want anybody in the comments to
everybody's not going to be a business owner.
Everybody's not going to be a business owner.
And it makes sense because like everybody cannot be
Everybody cannot be a business owner. And I never ever say that everybody should become a business owner.
But you are just saying it from your own perspective on this topic about having a business.
Yeah, more people need to consider that. Now, if we're talking about specifically being an immigrant, right, I'm going to say that being a permanent resident kind of takes a lot of load off your shoulder, right? Because I talk to a lot of people that are in different situations. You know, some are like, you know, refugees, some are still like, temporary and all that. I feel like when you get that permanent residence, which is like a pathway towards citizenship, it gives you sort of like
comfort, like a breathing room.
You can now breathe.
You know, it's funny, I never felt that way because I came into Canada as a permanent resident. So for me, it just felt like, oh, I came into Canada. It didn't seem like a big deal. I started talking to people that they came as students. Some people came in with different like visa situation. I was like, oh, being a permanent resident is a big deal. I had no idea.
Yeah. So for those of us that are not like, you understand, that passed through the fire, that had to become like, that had to be students before becoming their peer. Even though, to be honest, I didn't stay long as a student. I was just like a student for like a year or so, So I can still relate, right? But what I'm trying to say is that
You
being
have
a
that
permanent
breathing room.
resident, yeah, gives you that breathing room. So now, because once you have that, then you have the legal authorization to go ahead, like run a business, do whatever you want to do to make money in this country. There's no limits. But then, just touching on like why I feel like more people should start businesses. I made a video a couple days ago on my Instagram where I was saying that if there's any set of people that I believe have the highest probability to make money from a business, right? It is people who are immigrants. Why? Because they have they've been through a lot of risks, that they've taken a huge risk to leave their country, leave their family, leave everything and come to a new country, right? So how many things are you going to look at in life and say that these are things that are as risky?
But you
as
have to
leaving
also
your family?
understand that like definition of taking risk varies in different, like the amount of risk you can take varies from different things to different things.
Yes.
And I say this because like you remember I made a tweet a few days ago and you responded on that tweet saying, I'm glad you're calling yourself out. So I'm going to just put a brief context here. I was talking about like why I am successful with what I do and how I believe it's just as a result of me doing things, taking leap and just seeing how it goes.
Yeah.
Then I also called myself out in the sub tweet responding that I wish I could apply the same thing in my dating life, mostly because I'm very, very extra careful about who I date, who I talk to, who I hang out with. In that regards, my relationship as a whole. So I was just saying, like, if I had taken more risk, maybe I would have found that gold mine or something like that. But then I'm very extra careful. I'm someone that I consider myself a risk taker, but there's limits to the kind, or I would not say limits, there's category of risks that I'm willing to take. If you have ever thought, I want to make more money, but I don't know where to start, then listen up. I've created different online programs where I teach you how to earn more, save smarter, and grow your income without the flaw. From learning the right side hustles to content creation, or maybe you want to learn investing or join my exclusive community, Smart Money Group. I've built out practical programs that meet you where you are. You'll find options like Creator Income Accelerator, Investing Simplified, Smart Money Group, and the e-learning course for folks who wants to do it at their own pace. Everything is designed to help you multiply your skills and your income. If you're serious about taking control of your finances, head over to smartmoneymastery.co and choose your path today. Let's get back into the episode.
My question to you now is, eventually, aren't you still going to date?
I will.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
they should start the business anyway.
No. I'm not saying start the business anyway. I'm saying at least have it in mind, right? Some people make it seem like, oh, this is something that they're never going to do. But I try to frame, I'm all about, one thing that you're going to realize that I'm all about reframing the scenarios in your head, right? If you reframe it as, okay, I left this country to come, I'm looking for greener pastures, and then I'm like in a place where these greener pastures, what will favor me the most, looking at society that I'm living. Canada, for the most part, is a capitalist society, right? And people who make it here through business. So if we're looking at it from a very logical standpoint, I'm in a country that favors business owners. I'm in a country that favors capitalism. Does it really make sense for me if I said I'm leaving a country, I'm leaving Nigeria, and I'm here looking for greener pastures? Does it really make sense to just stick to being a 9-to-5 worker? Whereas I can diversify. And I mean, when you look at it, almost everybody that's advising you about money nowadays is a business owner.
Yep.
So some of these things are things that you have to just look at. Like, you don't even need people to tell you. I feel like many immigrants, they're still in that headspace, even like 5-10 years after they've been. I've only been here, like 3 years. But I feel like some people are in that headspace. They've been here 10, 15, 20 years, and they still have that same mindset that they left Nigeria with. Like, they still have that same fear of, what if I lose everything? And what if I start from scratch? Nigga, I'm sorry, but like, you have your citizenship or you have your PR. What exactly are you going to lose by just taking a little risk to start a business?
And I also think that Canada even makes it easy for you to start a business, to be honest. There are grants, there are loans, there are lines of credit, there are like even trainings.
And to black people too.
Even there are some dedicated for black people as well. So there are trainings, there are educational programs that would help you actually pursue any goal or any interest that you have. So I do think it's actually easier here to decide to start a business or pursue any idea you have
100%.
than back home.
100%.
However, I don't necessarily think, I'll challenge you on that, I don't necessarily think that most people are not starting a business, or most immigrants that we're talking about here, they are not starting a business because they are scared of taking risk. I feel that way. What made you think that it's about, like, they're scared of taking risk?
I think a lot of it is being scared of taking risk, and a lot of it is also, like you rightly mentioned, like knowledge, right? Because if you ask the average person right now, do you know the process that it takes to even like incorporate a business? Do you know like the tax benefits that you have between like working a normal job versus having an incorporation? Most people don't even know. Like they're 100% clueless, right? So there's a knowledge gap, but then that knowledge gap still exists because, like I said, there's nobody that is even pushing them in that direction, right? If you think about it, how many content creators or how many people do you see even talk about like helping people get started running a business? Everybody just talks about saving and investing, but you ask yourself, where's the money going to come from? Like how many people
No, but
are
they
making
are
this
actually.
six-figure
So the thing
salary?
is, if you are interested in pursuing something like that,
Yeah.
you would go out there to look for those information, and they're out there for you to
Exactly,
find.
but like a minute number of people are interested in the first place, and that's the reason for that. The reason why they're not even interested is because there's not enough knowledge that this thing exists. Because I know my people, Nigerians are very open. See, if you show
They're
Nigerians
opportunistic.
today that this is a
There's
pathway that
something
they
is
can
working,
make
they are
money,
going to go
they
there.
will dive into it.
They are going to go head first. I also feel like if I were to add to what you just said, which kind of makes sense, I also think that a lot of people are not starting businesses mostly because they are scared of failing.
Yes.
Risk is one thing that they are. I don't think I'll put risk and failing in
They're
the
not
same
the same thing.
category.
They're not the same.
I would
They're not
say
the
they are
same.
just scared of failing and being seen.
They're not the same.
Being seen, trying, or being seen, being a content creator, even self, like you're posting and you're trying to get people to watch your videos, to share, to comment. It feels it's embarrassing, low key.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing already to get past that embarrassment and embrace it. Then feel like, oh yeah.
I don't know which is worse, and you can tell me which one you think. Whether someone who has already kind of like built an audience and is like transitioning into something different, or someone who hasn't started at all. Because I'll tell you something interesting.
The person who hasn't started at all is definitely worse.
The person who hasn't started at all.
In
is
my
worse,
opinion,
right?
the person who has started and is transitioning has built some level of confidence
Yeah.
and resistance to whatever the public opinion is.
Oh,
But the
that
person
is
who
true.
hasn't started at all will definitely always be living in their head before they even get out there.
So yeah, you were basically asking me the difference between taking a risk in a business versus the fear of getting started, right? So one thing I'm going to say is this: if you've made up your mind to start a business, you have to understand that you're putting yourself out there. I feel like more people need to just get comfortable. Like this whole I'm not comfortable. Like just get over it. Like
I
just
saw a
get over
video
it.
on Instagram recently that the lady was like, you're too broke to be shy or something like that. I don't
Exactly.
remember the exact context. And I was like, exactly, like not necessarily because you are broke, or because of money. But then, to be honest, a lot of people actually get into business because of money.
Yes.
Which is also a problem in
Yes.
itself, because you should be
Yes.
starting a business to solve a problem or to serve people. That is
Yes.
where money comes. I'm someone that also believe that if you chase money, money will go. If you chase value or impact, money will follow.
Yes.
So there's that part. But then you are too broke
You are
to be shy.
You are actually too broke to be shy, and that's the honest truth. I feel like there's no way to sugarcoat. People sometimes they want to be baby. They want to be spoon fed, or they want to like go use like kids' fingers around this conversation. But the truth is, if you're broke, you're broke, right? There's like what's the value in your face that people have not seen before? If people I'm not even saying this to use the very rich billionaires as an example, but these guys make a lot of money that they never have to even show their face ever anywhere if they want to, and yet they are still out there, right? They are still out there, they're still getting things done, they're still doing public stuff.
Yeah.
So how come the people that have made everything, that can afford to vanish, are still putting themselves out there, and you who don't have anything
To lose.
like
I think people are scared of their family.
It's too much. Yeah, like what exactly? Like where does the fear come from? That's why the other day, honestly, like I was on Instagram and I was smoking a blunt, and people are like, "Oh, okay." Like some people are like, "Oh, that's new, that's new." But at the end of the day, what's gonna happen? You understand? Like some people have this idea of, "Oh, my image, my this, my that." As long as you're not committing crime, right? As long as you're not like killing anybody or doing anything like illegal,
Or you're not hurting someone
or
else.
you're not hurting someone else, right? Like, why do you really like? Do you really care that much, or is it just what society has led you to believe? We want to create this image and we feel like people are watching us, but trust me, nobody's watching you like that. Like nobody
really cares about you the way you think they care.
Nobody really cares.
So like, do you?
I'll tell you one of the things that I did for a client around marketing that changed the way they started to see marketing, and the way the owner of the business even started to see himself was, the normal concepts or the normal idea behind like marketing or email marketing is only send people emails once. You don't want to disturb them. You don't want to make them angry. You don't want them to unsubscribe. But we're like, we're sending emails
I feel
3
that
times
way.
in a day.
I feel that
We
way
were
about people sending
yeah,
emails.
exactly. Because the idea was like, we're sending emails 3 times a day. And I told him, if companies like Temu and the rest can afford to bombard you with marketing,
Ciao.
if you're tired, you opt out.
That's so true, because I also feel the same way. I send out newsletters, and
Yeah.
sometimes I do send out Travel Tuesdays, Finance Fridays, and Money Mondays, but I don't send them out all on the same week. So I send them maybe every other week, and I'm extra.
Who taught us these things? Who?
It's just mental.
Yeah.
I also feel extra conscious to not send out. So if I send out a Travel Tuesday, I'm very conscious to not send out a Finance Friday. Or if I send out a Money Monday, I'm very conscious to not send a Travel Tuesday the next day. Because I feel like there are some people that are subscribed to both. Because again, you can opt into different segments of the newsletters.
Yeah.
But I'm very conscious to, like, I don't want people that are receiving both emails to get overwhelmed. Which you are right about, that Temu's,
I'm gonna be
Bath
honest
and Body
with you.
Works, they send out 5 emails in a day whenever they have Black Friday. Not even any sale, just on a normal day, they send you several emails. But I think it's just mental though.
Yeah, that's why I said like you just have to overcome that mentality. Like if you overcome the mentality, everything starts. I mean, it's not like it's gonna happen overnight, but once you get over that battle in your mind, you know, everything starts to make sense for you. Because at the end of the day, let's say, for example, I have the cure to a disease, like I have the cure to AIDS, right? And I know that this is a cure that will save millions of lives. Does it really make sense for me to just be talking about it only once a day or like I would want everybody, and the people who find value in it, the people who need that solution,
going to stay.
They are not going to care if I talk about it every single day.
It makes
Right?
a lot of sense, Sha.
If they want entertainment content,
They'll
they can go where entertainment is.
Yeah.
You know?
I spoke to, this is funny because I had something similar to this conversation with another friend that is also in marketing just like you, and we're talking about it as well. And it was like they put people into like an email. So when you opt into their form, they put you into an email funnel that sends you like almost 120 email in like a few days range.
Yeah.
So email funnel is basically like maybe you purchase any of their product or you download any of their freebies or anything, and they put you into this email funnel where they will start sending you emails very frequently. In case, I'm just trying to explain for people that might not know, that they put you into this email funnel or segment that keeps sending you out these emails every now and then till you make a decision. The whole point is for you to be able to either purchase
Or you go out.
or you watch any of their trainings or whatever it is for you to be able to take an action,
yes.
right? And when he was telling me about it, I was like, 120 emails. That is crazy. 100. I don't even send 120 emails in a whole entire year.
It's not a lot. And I mean, like, we can talk about content later, but I'm telling you, I made like a series of stories the other day where I said, like, when we don't even have enough good content right now, like, we're in an attention deficit economy. Like, people's attention is the real currency right now. But even despite that, there are not many people making good enough content. So the point is, you don't just want to send people trash, obviously, right? And thank God for AI right now. You can come up with like tons of different ideas and even like your own, you know, just come up with ideas and AI will help you like flesh it out. But the point is, going back to what we're talking that made us like even, you know, diversify into this conversation is that people don't really care that much, right? It's all in our head. All these whole best practices and things are things that we made up. And you know the funny thing, we're seeing people that are doing the opposite win. And yet,
and it's still not motivated us to do it.
Yeah, and we're just like, oh, that guy is doing that. He's good for him. We're like, why can't you do what he's doing? Like you can see the blueprints. It's not even hidden. We have people nowadays making threads of how they're going viral. They give the literal blueprints, everything. There's no like all my cards are on the table, and yet people are still like scared.
Yeah.
So going back to like the whole business thing, which made us branch off, which I'm saying is like people who are scared to get started. I feel like the first thing, you get comfortable with just putting yourself out there, understanding that they're not going to throw you into jail if you put your face out there, right? Now, the next thing is you want to start a business. You want to get into a business where you have two things. I call them the two things that I feel like are essential to starting a business. Number one is you want to get into somewhere that they are like the low barrier to entry, like low resources. You don't need to invest a lot of money, right? And it's a place where you can learn the core skills that you're going to need for any kind of business that you ever venture into in the future. And one business model that I feel like is that satisfies those two things is an online business. Why? Because everybody nowadays has a phone. Everybody nowadays is online, and no matter the kind of business you want to do, whether you want to go into oil and gas or food business, like most of our immigrant people like to go into, whether you want to start any of those kind of businesses, if you start something on the online space, you can quickly test it and see if this thing works for
or
you
not, yeah.
without investing a lot of money. So there's absolutely no reason why you would even want to, in this day and age, in 2025, and even going forward, there's no single reason why, if you're a first-time business owner, you're going to start a business where you don't have any knowledge or any moat. You don't have anything that's like protecting you from other people competing with you. So why not start something online?
Yeah.
Like nowadays, you can literally pull out your phone, you create a new page, and you're in business. You start getting customers, people paying you.
I love that you brought that up as well. That's really brilliant and profound. I love that you brought that up because I was going to ask you, like, going back to our topic, like, what's the easiest way for people to still have a business without leading to burnout? And like you mentioned, starting an online business is probably the safest, the most cost-effective, the easiest.
Absolutely.
And less competition. I wouldn't say less competition, honestly.
I would say less competition.
Really?
Yes, I would say less competition. The reason why I would say that is because every single person brings something unique to the table. People don't like to admit this, and that's why anytime, like when I have consultation calls and I tell people about this, they start mentioning, that person is doing this, that person is doing that. People literally start new clothing businesses every single day. Yes, we have the Zara, we have the Temu, we have all these different companies that sell clothes. Why? People are still starting clothing companies. So if your excuse is that somebody else is out there doing what you're doing, my answer to you is that you are bringing something unique to the table. If you don't believe that you're bringing something unique to the table, that's on you.
You need to go back to the drawing board.
You need to go back to the drawing
I see
board.
where you're coming from. What I was saying in terms of like, if it's more competitive, I was just comparing it with actual physical business. No, with actual physical businesses. That I think it's easier for everyone to start an online business, and as a result, there are more online businesses than actual physical businesses that solve problems.
Yes.
But online businesses obviously still do solve problems. But I was just trying to compare it in that regard. I'm not saying that like the competition in itself is bad. Do you understand?
In my own honest opinion, I feel like there are already a lot of people already solving stuff in the physical world that we can just chill. Okay?
And we should focus on online.
We can just chill and focus on the online, because the online right now is where there is that lack of attention, right? There's people solving tons of problems in the physical world. So leave the physical world for a bit, right? Come into the online space and validate whatever you want to do, express yourself, build it out, and then you can now bring it into the physical.
I'm going to put you on the spotlight a little bit about your tweet that I saw quite recently. We keep calling each other out on our tweets on social media. About your tweets that I saw recently about this online business thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there are still some category of people that feel like online business is a scam, especially digital marketing specifically. Yes. Or maybe, digital marketing specifically. I find that even... Let me backtrack a little bit to give context to calling Ken out on his tweet. So there was a post that, I don't know the genesis of the story, and maybe you help me out a little bit. There were some people that are having like an argument on Twitter threads discussing about starting an online business and selling your education or selling your knowledge for money, that is not an actual business that is solving a problem, that you are only making money off the back of vulnerable people by claiming to teach them what you haven't even implemented or what you haven't been able to make money from. So your actual income. So the claim is that those people that sell maybe courses or training or online programs, that's what they're actually making money from. Their main income stream is from selling those programs, not necessarily what they're teaching people to do to make money. And I think it was Ade-Ife that was getting dragged in that conversation that made me like, oh, okay, but like add your own context to it. Let's help people get a better visual or understanding of that discussion. And I also want you to now give your take about online business or selling educational courses in that regard.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is that there is no single business or industry in this world that doesn't have bad characters, right? That is the honest truth. You know this, I know this, everybody knows this. But I feel like for some weird reason, when it comes to the online space, people want to neglect the good people, the ones that are doing good stuff, or downplay what the good people are doing and only focus on what the bad people are doing. And obviously, the reason why they do that is either because, they're going to give you a lot of reasons why they do this. They will say, the person who is selling is calling out poor people. They will say, they are too pompous, or, they're just showing lifestyle, or they are doing this. So they give all those excuses. And you know what's the actual funny thing? After they say all those things, they now say, if you want to learn, you should go to YouTube, you should go to Coursera, you should go to Udemy. I'm like, brother, those are still online courses, right? Right? So you're telling people, don't buy from the people that are saying you should make money from what you're doing. But, there's somebody else you should go learn from, right?
Because YouTube is free. That's what they mean.
Exactly. So I was coming to that, basically saying that the reason why people fight all these things is because there's money involved, right? If I started doing an online course and I said it's 100% free, none of those people will come out and tackle me. Why? Because whether or not I've done what I said I can do, if I don't put any price tag on it, they will not have a problem. So I feel like the fundamental problem, first of all, is that people have this crisis, this internal crisis when it comes to anything being paid for that involves knowledge. Right? People have, for lack of better word, like they've been disenfranchised by the education system, and so anything that has to look, anything that has the resemblance of selling information, they don't even want to dive deep into it. Like for that particular conversation, somebody was coming after Adefe saying, "Oh, you're selling a course." Adefe was trying to make it clear that, "Oh, I don't even have a course." Right? But I thought that in the eyes of any of those people online, once you open your mouth and say, "I'm training people to do this,"
it's same
or
thing
I'm
as
giving
selling
them
a course.
it's for them. Everything, they wrap everybody inside a blanket and say these are all course creators and they are all scammers. Right? So that's the first thing that people get wrong. I feel like more people don't want to, give themselves the grace to understand how the industry works. And I've not seen anybody at all that will come and challenge me head on head with this, because, like I said, we have the legit ones. You guys will leave the legit ones alone. You won't work with them. They don't make those outrageous promises, because, yes, they are bad eggs that make outrageous promises. People will neglect the people that are doing good. You focus on those guys. Why are you focusing on them? Because you know that they are bringing their attention to the table. I can sit here now and just tell you, this is what exactly you're going to do to make like an extra 2K in the next month. People don't like people. Okay, some people listen. They won't
make
move.
10K.
Yeah, but if I wear a Rolex and I'm flashing a Lambo, they're going to give me attention.
But they also want to make 10K in one day.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you understand how money works in the real world, right? You know that even in your normal 9 to 5, there's a process to you making money. So why do you feel like it's going to be drastically different in the online space? Like you don't want that process.
They want a miracle.
Do you get? So people have to take the blame sometimes for these things. Bad actors will not exist if bad players are not there in the first place.
Quick break from the convo, because if you have been dreaming about traveling, making new connections, or living your best life without blowing the bank, then I would love to invite you for an experience with Sabi Enjoy. Sabi Enjoy is my travel brand that focuses on creating travel experiences for your enjoyment. We create unforgettable group trips, private escape, custom itinerary, and our very own Sabi experiences. So if you are tired of waiting to travel with your friends, or you don't want to deal with the stress of planning trips, don't worry, Sabi Enjoy has got you covered. We are all about helping you travel more, stress less, and feel deeply connected along the way. The best part is we also offer payment plans for your convenience. How cool is that? Head over to sabienjoy.com to join any of our experiences. Now let's get back to the show. I also have something to say to that, because the truth is, people also forget when they don't consider the fact that in a classroom, not 100% of the students would be able to utilize whatever is being taught. And that's why...
Are we doing what we went to school for? I mean, I studied architecture.
Yeah. So, like, not 100% of the class, the students will be able to utilize it. So, people that buy an online course or an online training, or they take a program, not 100% of them will be able to even complete the program to begin with. Absolutely. We all had people in school that we were classmates with. They dropped out at some point. Not everybody that started from 100 level ended final graduated, right? So we always had that. Then there are also some people that at some point they get more clarity with, like, oh, maybe this is not really for me, and they move on to something else. And it's only a very, very select few that are able to push through to the very end to be able to see success from it. Even same thing with starting a business, like we said. So very, very, very few people will start a business, push through all the challenges and hustle and hurdle of being a business owner, and now start to see that result or success.
You see why I said, okay, go ahead.
So it's pretty much the same thing is what I was going to say.
Yeah, you see why I said, like, in the online business space gives you a foundation to see how business works in the real world. Because if you start an online business, for example, especially one selling knowledge, right? There's something that we call like idea validation, right? In the real world, you probably like invest a lot of money to do all this and that. But the way it's validated in the knowledge space is by you looking at someone's free content, right? There's people put out free content for you to be able to judge them and tell, like, oh, by the quality of what this person has given for free, would their page stuff be good, right? So if you are scared of being scammed online or anything, look at the people that are putting out content. You can tell that this person is putting out content that genuinely, if I take what this person has given me for free, I can make something out of it, right? And then you can use that as a framework to say, okay,
If this person has given me something for free, this
Exactly.
much for free, then how about when I pay for something, it will be probably 10 times more.
Exactly. But then people won't do that, and then they start calling people scammers. And then at the end of the day, I don't really give
I think
a
the
fuck.
reason why they don't do that is because they fall for those people that give them outrageous promises.
Exactly.
That's the reason. So
Exactly.
if you, like you said, if you tell them to do this thing and
They
get
don't wanna do
$2,000, they don't want $2,000. They want to make $10,000 in one day.
Yeah. So
And it's not possible.
It's just not possible. Like I've been doing this for like almost
Yes.
8-9 years.
And I can count how many 10K days I've had. Very, very few.
Yeah.
Compared to my days of not having anything.
Yeah. So if we're being honest, I feel like there are people out there that are sharing the truth of this information. It's just that some people have chosen like to look at only the flashy side and be deceived. And then at the end of the day, they want to put us all in a box. And that's something that I would never allow. Like, it's something that you have to, if you know me, I would never allow it. And if you still want to go down that route, I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm not killing anybody, right? I'm providing information. And you know what even makes my life more interesting and makes me do what I do the most?
Better.
Is that the fact that I know that there are a few people that find value in what I do. The fact that I can open my DMs and someone saying, look, Ken, that tip that you shared with me
worked. That
worked.
is enough.
That is enough for me.
I agree.
Right?
I feel
That
the
is
same
enough
too.
for me.
I feel the
That is
same way as
100%
well.
enough
If
for
I
me.
coach 10 people, if just one person can tell me that this thing changed
That
my
is
life,
what I'm here for.
I'm fine with that. Just that one person validates my whole entire idea, because I know not everybody has, like, that one person doesn't have two head,
Yes.
right? And if you work for this person, that means I'm not the outlier. It doesn't, like, I'm not a lucky person.
Exactly.
It's actually a framework that works. It's just now, did it work for you?
Yeah. Some people are just self-righteous when it comes to the knowledge business, and that's the reason why they don't get started. Like I said, I've heard almost every excuse in the book that people give for either not starting like an online business or starting a knowledge business.
You have to explain what a knowledge business is, because you've been saying it a lot.
Okay, so a knowledge business is basically a version of an online business, but here the product is basically what you have in your head. Now, obviously, you're not selling your physical head, but you're selling like
You
the
could
stuff
sell it if
have.
you want.
I mean, but you're not, like, you're basically packaging all that you know. And I feel like if you've been through some form of experience in life, whether through like normal, like, tertiary education or any kind of education, basically, you have gathered knowledge in some way, shape, or form that can help somebody else, and not only help somebody else, but that person can actually give you money in exchange for it. That is my personal belief. That is my personal philosophy to life towards making money online. And so every single person, regardless of your background, regardless of whatever, if you have been through life, right?
Your
There's something that
transformation, whatever transformed your journey, you can sell it to someone
any transformation
else
that you've been
by
in.
help. You can help somebody else by selling it to them.
Whether you're in retail, in customer service, hospitality, law, medicine, accounting, plumbing, whatever industry that you belong to, there is some form of information that you have in your head right now that is worth some money. And if you really think about it, what we all do in our 9 to 5 is basically, we're all in the knowledge business, right? The only difference is that in your 9 to 5, instead of just
selling your knowledge to a customer,
yes,
B2C,
yes,
you're selling it to the business.
Exactly. Instead of it being B2C, you're just working B2B, right? And then
actually, I've never thought about it that way, and it makes so much sense.
That's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. You could literally package everything you know. I mean, that's what happens when they fire you, right? You package everything you know, you hand it over to somebody else, and that person now starts to do what you were doing before, but now with their hands. It's just knowledge transfer. So we are all in the knowledge transfer business. The companies are hiring you because of the knowledge you have in your head.
The value you will have to bring.
That is it. So if like I said, most of these things, once you start to reframe it in your head, it starts to make a lot of sense for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. That is really profound. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've learned so much. So many new things and different perspectives that I've never thought about.
That my tweet, I said that there's nobody, if you give me anybody that is serious, that's not shy and whatever, that says they want to start a knowledge business, I can take them to 10K a month. If they have that knowledge in their head and they're willing to put themselves out there. Right? What we have nowadays is just people that are scared to put themselves out there. They know the truth, they don't want to say it, or they're just, they're just toying around with it. But if you want money, you will make money.
So, which brings me back to what I said earlier about starting a business for value, not just for money. But then, again, is it wrong to start a business solely for money? Just a yes or no answer.
It
No,
is not
no need
wrong.
to.
It is not wrong.
Nothing is wrong with
There
that.
is
Okay.
nothing wrong with money at all.
Like there is nothing wrong with starting a business solely because you want to make money. Like you
There
just
are
you
people
just
that
want
start
profit.
businesses just
It's
to
not
make
something you're
money.
passionate about.
You don't have to
You
be
just want
passionate
money.
about it. No.
All right, thank you.
Are
Thank
you
you for.
passionate about your job?
I am. I enjoy it.
Well, but not everybody's passionate about their job.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Just go for it.
What would you say are like some things that has helped you build without overstretching yourself or leading to burnout, or even help you stay consistent without like getting exhausted and feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna end it today?
I feel like the number one thing after the initial part, which I said, is acknowledging where you're at, like that this phase will pass and all, is then breaking it down into little steps for me, right? If I get your question right, it's like, what are the things I do to like
Yeah, mostly
minimize-
personal habits is what I
Okay.
mean. Like, what are some habits that you have in your life that helps you to, manage your energy without leading to burnout?
Okay, so first thing that I do to help me manage my energy, is lay it all out. Like when it starts to choke me a lot, like I feel like I know when it's choking me is when I start to write it. If you never choke me, yeah, I don't go write them. So I feel like whenever you see me bring out pen and paper to write out all the things I'm going through, that's when I know that it's a lot, right? So that's like the first thing I do, because once you see it on paper, it now starts to make sense. You can now start to allocate things. So part of the problem is people just leave it all in their head.
Yeah.
If it's in your head, it's going to kill you, right? But when you put it on paper, it's like it has left stage one, it has moved out, and it's now in the real world in some form, right? So when I have it on paper, thankfully with AI nowadays, it makes things a lot easier, right? So what I kind of do, my own hack to it is I basically pour everything into ChatGPT and I basically ask it to assign these things to somebody. You understand? Like assign different roles. Let's say even if you're, whether you're a company or whether you're like a solo person, you're an employee or whatever, if you ask it, assign individual characters to these problems and how each individual character will solve this problem. How I used to do it manually before AI was basically I assigned like different categories or different like time slot, different tasks. But I'm saying like with this
AI,
with the way AI is now, it makes it a lot easier where you
for
can
you
just
to-
like assign these problems to people. So you give the problems like personality so that you can kill them. It's like you basically turn them into like soldiers so you can shoot them down. Okay, if that makes sense.
We are not shooting anybody here.
Yeah, so you just give them a name, because if what you don't know, what you cannot identify, you cannot call out, you cannot kill. Once you call them out, you identify them, then I start to tackle them. So that's like my mental hack. But in terms of like practical hacks, what I do nowadays is honestly I make use of arbitrage a lot. So part of the advantage that we have being in a place like this and coming from a place like Nigeria is that Nigeria is a country that has a lot of talent, right? And very, very affordable labor. I was going to say cheap, but I'll use affordable.
Affordable is a better word.
So affordable, almost affordable to even free, to almost free compared to like the money here, right? There are people that they just want to work, right? They are very, very driven. So because of that, I'm learning more how to like hire people and like delegate tasks. And yeah, it's been working really well.
I love that. That's very profound. But let's say we are leaving work aside. How do you actually rest? What's your own definition of rest? At what point do you feel like I'm taking a break, I'm resting, I'm relaxing? I'll tell you mine, but I want you to say yours.
Rest, I do watch movies now.
You watch movies now? What's your new show? What new shows are you watching? Do you watch like shows or movies?
Yeah, you know what's actually funny? Like I have multiple series that I'm like I jump between them. I don't know of many people that watch series like me. Like I'm watching many old series now at like back to back that I've never watched before. I'm watching like Ozark. I'm watching Breaking Bad. I'm watching Blacklist. Like I just have, and if you check like my Netflix, you're gonna see like most of them like this. Continue watching.
So you just watch one episode and you move to the next one.
Yeah, I'm just like jumping in between them. Right?
Bruh, you're weird. I started so I watched Suits years ago. Do you know Suits?
Yeah, of course.
That made me almost want to become a lawyer.
I never watched series like.
Oh my gosh! So I watched Suits years ago, but then this year I started to watch it all over again. So every time I was traveling on a plane, I'll download it on my iPad. Then I'll watch like a couple of episodes. I'll sleep. I watched it again all the way from season 1 to I think it's up to season 10. I watch it all over again. The next show I want to watch like that is Power.
Oh, okay.
I want to watch Power again. Maybe after Power, I'm going to watch Empire again. I don't know. There's just something very And the reason is, I would explain the reason why I go back to watching old shows. Is because I don't need to 100% pay attention to it.
Oh.
So like I can be watching it and sleep off or watch,
so we're using
skip some
mental hacks too.
episodes.
Yeah, so we're using mental hacks.
So that's like one way that I get to rest. Then another way for me is whenever I travel, it's usually, I still work whenever I travel. I feel like people don't get that I do work whenever I travel because I create content for work and I still travel with my laptop all the time as well. But the extent, like just even being in a different environment for me alone is very relaxing.
Yeah.
Then I also tend to get a lot of spa days. Not a lot. I would say like once in every quarter, I try to get spa. Like go to get a massage. And almost every other day, whenever I go to the gym, because I work out like 3 times a week, every time I go to the gym, I always use the sauna.
Okay.
That's my own definition of rest. It might be different for every other person. So I use the sauna and I just sit still for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And that moment is like one of the best moments of like the best minutes of the day.
Yeah.
Anytime I work out, enjoy my workout. I sprint, I run, I lift weight or whatever. Then I go to the sauna. I just try to clear my head for like few minutes. Because for me, it is very hard for me to have like a moment where I'm not thinking. So in that few minutes where I'm not thinking, sometimes I'm listening to music, other times I'm just sitting still and just breathing and just doing some breathing exercises, and I'm just like, I can rest today. What a good day it's about to be. And I like that I do it in the morning because it just helps me start my day. I don't know. That's one of the fun. Well, keep going.
One of the fun things I do nowadays is like late night drives. So like when I'm super bored, I don't have anything to do, I just get in my car in the night and I just drive around town. Like Toronto is actually a nice,
very beautiful city.
I know. Yeah, so that's something that I do to just relax.
That could never be me though. Just driving. Like I only drive because I have to.
I just drive.
One of my friends told me,
get a late night snack,
and you just sit down, just be looking. If I'm going to leave this my house, I better be leaving for a reason. One of my friends called me one day. Do you want to go for a drive? Let's drive to Niagara. I was like,
for me.
So you just wake up and drive to. And it was even at night, so you just wake up and drive to Niagara Falls. Like Niagara Falls is 2 hours.
Exactly. But
you
like,
just sit down and be driving to Niagara Falls.
But like it's so random, but then it's actually like so therapeutic.
No, I'm not into driving. Please. I don't even like road trips. I only get on airplanes and that's it. So if I'm going to be doing anything that is going to take me out of my house, get on the road for 2 hours.
Somebody can drive you now.
I could be a passenger princess, which I don't mind. However, there's also a limit to it because I'll start getting like uncomfortable. Like I'll be feeling on. Now that we're already in the vibey mood, we're getting into another fun segment of this episode. I want to ask you some quick rapid fire questions. Are you ready for me? Do you sometimes speak in your British accent? Because I heard you do that this afternoon.
I just do it sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like,
should we speak in our fake British accent?
People are gonna look
but
at
I hope
strange.
people are not going to feel offended if you do that, because these days everyone is quite sensitive. So do you guys sometimes do that? Like,
do I even sound Nigerian in the first place?
Oh, it looks like you
my
are.
first year in Canada, many people were like, "Where are you from? Where are you from?"
sound
like,
freaking Nigerian.
Because then I was trying not to sound Nigerian.
Oh, yeah, sound in your non-Nigerian accent.
I don't use that. You can only in real life. That's the only time you catch me using that. I don't do it for.
I want to hear it. But I want to hear. I've never heard your non-Nigerian.
Never heard it before.
Speak it. Say it. I need to hear it. Speak in your non-Nigerian accent or your whatever fake accent. Your code switch.
No, it's not really
people call it code
fake.
switching.
I mean, like, come on, like we're just saying, like this is really how I talk on a normal day.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm being very serious, honestly. Like,
I'm curious if you're listening or you're watching this episode. Do you sometimes do your fake British accent? Because I feel like I do that. I do that a lot.
I know how to impersonate people. Like,
so I want to know if like other people do the same thing as well.
Yeah, maybe in your head.
Or maybe in your head. Do you do that? Just comment below and tell me, because I want to be sure. Because I do that a lot sometimes with my sister and with people. So I want to know if I'm the only one or I'm the weird one. All right. So I'm going to ask you some questions and you just answer with maybe one word or finish it off. Okay. What is one app or tool that you swear by that helps you manage your time efficiently?
The calendar app.
Calendar, like Google Calendar?
Any calendar app.
I love calendar apps too. Like, if it's not in my calendar, sometimes I just forget. Like, sometimes I even set a task on my calendar to cancel my subscription, to call somebody, to do whatever it is, because I always also forget. And one thing I've learned is, I heard this from Ali Abdal. I watch his YouTube channel a lot. He said, like, our brains are not meant to store information. They are meant to be creative and give us ideas. So if you're using your brain to store information, you're using it the wrong way. Yeah. And ever since then, anytime I remember something, I take note of it and least I have somewhere to refer back to. And last night I did something like that I didn't take note of, and just like 10 minutes later I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, damn, my brain is really dead right now.
Yeah. I have a longer answer for why I chose calendar, but like I'll leave it for next time.
All right, cool. How do you prefer to rest? Do you prefer your rest alone or with people?
Oh, alone, Jesus Christ.
Really?
Oh my God.
I also feel like I like to rest alone, personally. I prefer to rest alone. I love to hang out with people. No. Some people like when they are hanging out with their friends. That is a way for them to relax and unwind when they are chatting and gisting with people. Oh, yeah. But then for some other people, it's like they like their solace. For me, I like my solace.
Nobody around me. I just will go into my head.
When you have kids, or when you get married, I'm going to know how you are going to rest alone.
Then,
you have to rest with your partner.
Now, why I never get kids now, because I never did that phase yet. When we get that bridge, we'll
cross it. So what is something you no longer chase?
Something I no longer chase. Awards. Tell me about it. I'm curious. There was a time I felt like I wanted to stay in Nigeria because like if I stayed long enough, I'll probably win some awards. But I gave myself a brain, man. I want money in this life. I ain't giving a shit about awards because I feel like I don't want to go too much into it.
Yeah.
Awards is just something that I used to like. The vain. It
was a dream for you at some point, but now you are done with that part.
Like acknowledge me and say I'm this and that. But nowadays I don't really care. As long as me and my family are happy, I'm good.
I love that. We're getting into our Sabi or no Sabi segment. So you're gonna have this.
Okay.
And I'm going to have this. Then I'm going to read a question. The whole point of Sabi or no Sabi is, think of it like I agree or I do not agree. Sabi means you agree, and no Sabi means you don't agree. Get paid and disappear or ghost your client for 3 days. Sabi or no Sabi?
Wait, we say that again.
So you get paid, you make money from a project or your customer, or you sell a course. We are using course now. You sell a course and you ghost your students for the next 3 days. Sabi or no Sabi?
I don't Sabi that one.
You don't Sabi? You don't agree, Abi?
No.
Okay. I don't agree to you. At least for the first few days, hold your hand. Because when people just pay you, their expectations is very, very high.
Exactly.
Leave WhatsApp groups without guilt. Sabi or no Sabi?
Sabi down.
I Sabi that. There was one time that I Sabi that. There was one time I was not attending, I was supposed to go for like a hike with some group of people. Then when I joined the group, I wasn't following the conversation. Then when it was no longer going to work for me, I was telling my friend that let me just leave the WhatsApp group. She was like, don't leave. Like, if you leave, it's going to look like you're angry. Like, why do you want to just leave just like that? In my head, I was like, there's no point for me to be here anymore. But then I understand, like, people might read it in different ways. And I think WhatsApp needs to turn off that notification that says Bisola left the group chat.
Yeah,
WhatsApp, they need to turn that off though.
I don't really care.
They be causing unnecessary fight and arguments.
I would just leave. Like,
all right.
For me.
You don't care. You don't tell anybody. You don't care about their feelings.
Canada has even taught me, when all these spam callers call, like, I will talk to them, like, in the middle of conversation, I'll end the call. Like, I don't waste my time.
All right. The next one, asking for a salary range before the second interview. You want to know how much you're getting paid. Sabi or no Sabi?
No Sabi.
I think you Sabi.
Salary raise.
Yeah. No, not a raise. Like, you want to ask how much the salary is for the role.
Sure.
Like, it depends. Some roles, like, I feel like you as a person as well, you should have done your research to get an idea of how much they're going to pay you.
Yeah.
If you have done your research and then you would be able to tell if that's like something you want to pursue. However, if they don't have information online or anything that will help you decide if it's worth your time, ask.
I feel like I'm not scared to talk about anything that involves money nowadays. Like, I don't, you're not going to kill me, so I'm just going to say it.
Block your boss on social media. Sabi or no Sabi? Sabi. Man. Even all your colleagues all together.
Block
Sabi.
My boss.
Block all of them. Remove them from your social media.
No Sabi.
No, I don't want any relationship. When I was at work, I removed them.
Like, if they find me, I don't really care.
That's good for you. I love that.
Yeah, I don't, because like I said, I'm in that phase in my life now. Like I said, I don't know if it's gonna change in future, but now I don't really care about a lot of things like that. Because, like, what's the worst? I feel like I've gone to the end of the thing. I've seen it. Is it that you're gonna stop me from making money or what? Like, and when I think about it in that sense, I'm like, there's nothing you're gonna do to me.
I agree. That makes sense. It's a good
Yeah.
perspective. It's a good way to think about it. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you have learned a lot. You've had fun along the way, and you maybe found something valuable. If you did, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. If something stood out to you, something stuck with you, or something piques your mind that you want to, even discuss with us. You can comment below. We want to hear. We also have a link for you to send us your dilemma, your story. For subsequent episodes, we are going to read them and answer them as well. Thank you to Ken for giving us his time today, for coming on the pod, sharing all of your knowledge. Also, I want to hear from you guys. How are you able to detach from work, to avoid or prevent burnout, to manage stress? Let me know, what's your self-care routine? How do you actually rest? I'm curious to also learn from you. Maybe I can start to implement some of the hacks that you're all going to share below. Thank you so much, Ken. Do you have any final thoughts?
Thank you for having me. I just want you guys to join in the conversation. I want to hear your thoughts, because I mean, nowadays I feel like I'm in that space where I want to talk more with immigrants, figure out what's going on in their head. Let's have more of these conversations. I want to my systems. They work for me now, but I want to know how other people are also doing
theirs. That's something that I also really want to learn. I want to learn how other people are doing their thing. Anyway, if anything resonated with you, please share this video or this podcast with any one of your friends or circle or family, or anyone that you feel would also get value out of it. Until next time, keep cruising with us. You sabi or you know sabi?
I sabi. I
sabi too.
I sabi.
Thank you for cruising with us on this episode of Sabi Cruise. If something we discussed today hits home, don't keep it to yourself. Comment below what resonated with you and share this podcast with your people. Hit the follow button, leave a quick review so that others can find us. Until next time, keep thriving, keep learning. You sabi or you know sabi. You already know we sabi better.